What is going on, everyone? My name's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Welcome back to another FPL video. Today it's the team selection preview series for Game Week 20. Half the season has now gone, so any points we've only got one half of the season left to do it. So fingers crossed we have an upturn soon for those of us who are doing pretty poorly at the moment. I'm going to take you through how my team's looking for Game Week 19. The Man City Wolves game is still to be played, but obviously the turnaround is super quick this week, so I've got to get this video out. Then I'll take you through how I'm looking for Game Week 20. Before I jump into that, video has kindly been sponsored once again by OneFootball. If you want to check it out, it's completely free. You might as well give it a go and see what you think. Link is in the description below, or just search OneFootball on the Android iOS stores. You have all your football news, lineup news, live scores, and all that good stuff over the next couple of weeks when there's still loads of fixtures to go. So make sure you go and try that out. It's completely free. See what you think. So let's have a look at Game Week 19 so far. The Man City and Wolves game hasn't been played yet, but because the deadline is Saturday morning, there's only a bit of time to get this video out. So I don't know what Kevin De Bruyne has done. I don't know what Man City have done. I don't know if Jimenez has scored again. Overall rank is now 504,366, which is a tiny green arrow. But I'll tell you now already, once auto subs come in, that is already a red arrow. So unless De Bruyne gets another 19 points or something tonight, I'm going to be on for a red arrow probably this week. Which is extremely frustrating, extremely annoying. I'm just going nowhere fast. My rank is basically still the same as what it was back in Game Week 9. I've gone up, down, and basically got back to where I was before. Not having Trent Alexander-Arnold has basically killed me this week. The green arrow is about 100k before that Liverpool game. I had Mane. How Mane did not score in that game, I do not know. There was a chance for Salah to lay him in. Basically, it would have been an open goal from outside the box. Salah went for it himself, and he didn't score either. So that was an extremely frustrating match to watch. I think I got rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold thinking that these were the fixtures where if he wasn't going to get any clean sheets, it was going to be these ones. I certainly didn't expect a clean sheet against Leicester away. And then 4 attacking returns as well. 4-0, and he was involved with every single one. We knew it was possible. I've said it plenty of times. Once the clean sheets come, there's a haul just around the corner. He's so attacking. I just didn't expect him to get all 4 attacking returns in one game, but you've just got to bow down to that. It's unfortunate. I think the fact that I got rid of him for Son, or to fund Son for a -8, and then Son got a red card. It's just been an awful couple of weeks over Christmas when it comes to FPL. So I'm currently on 42, not out because De Bruyne is still to play, but not expecting a huge amount of points there. Aurier did okay for me, finally got his assist. I think he's one that's probably got a haul in him as well. Not quite 24 points like Trent, but if they can get some clean sheet Spurs, then he's very attacking. We saw him basically playing right wing for a lot of the game. The Spurs game, to be honest, was pretty frustrating to watch. I kind of regretted the Ali transfer very early on, just because of how he and Spurs were playing. They couldn't string a pass together. Harry Winks was awful. Sissoko was terrible as well. Ali himself seemed to be stuck out on the left wing for a lot of the game. But in the end, did get us going. It was a really nice finish. It was a really nice assist from Aurier too. So pretty happy with that transfer. I basically did Son to Ali. I dodged the bullet with Pogba. I thought he would start, and he didn't. Solskjaer kind of said he would, and now he's saying that he's not ready to play too many minutes. So I don't know what's going on there. Mane did get his assist for the 4th goal, which Trent scored. Maddison pretty rubbish. To be honest, Maddison hasn't done anything for the last couple of weeks, but I wasn't really expecting him. Now I might have to transfer him out, which I'll talk about in a minute. But overall, no one really did anything else. Rashford got his goal, unfortunately taken off around 60 minutes. It is Christmas, so obviously Solskjaer trying to rest players. So good for next week probably, but not good for his points total this week. So 4 goals for Man United, only 1 for Rashford, but was still nice to get a return. Captain him ahead of Vardy, just a shame it wasn't more of a jump in points than just the 6. But overall points 1,039. Like I said, I'm kind of stuck at the moment. It's been an awful first half of the season. Got to try and turn it around. Let's discuss how that might be possible. So going into Game Week 20, I've got 1 free transfer. Squad value is 102.3, and I've got that million in the bank because I did Son to Dele Alli. I didn't do it straight away. I waited for Christmas to finish basically before making that transfer. So I lost a little bit of money on Son. Ali went up as well. So just a million in the bank. And obviously, looking at my defence, there's a big Trent Alexander-Arnold shaped hole there now. The question is, do I bring him straight back? Now, one of the things with him is the kind of confusion around the yellow card bans and stuff. And obviously, up until Game Week 19, you can only get 5 yellow cards before you got a ban. That's now being increased to 10. Apart from Liverpool and West Ham players, they have to get through the next game before they're kind of also increased to the 10 limit, which everyone else is, because they missed that blank game in Game Week 18. So Trent Alexander-Arnold, interestingly, is on 4 yellow cards. If he gets one in the next game against Wolves, then he'll miss the Sheffield United game. And obviously there is a chance that they just rest him because, there's been lots of games played. Maybe they rest him, get rid of that yellow card worry and have him back for Sheffield United. But you'd think they'd want him for Wolves, which is going to be the tougher game. And obviously he might not get rested at all. We just don't know which players, for the most part, are going to get rested this week. There's such a quick turnaround. It's going to happen. Squads could be decimated. We're going to have to see how it goes. So do I want him back? Absolutely. I knew I'd want him back anyway. I never was under the impression of he was gone for the rest of the season. I just kind of wanted to wait until Gameweek 24, 25. And now I'm thinking I might have to speed that up because I know what he can do. I've said it plenty of times. Once the attacking returns come with the clean sheets, of which they've got 3 in 3 now. And I think that's coincided with Gomez coming back into the side as well. So do I get him back in? It has to be for a hit. Just to put it out, it has to be for a hit. I have to take a -4. And I think the best way to do it is either take Aurier or Lundstram out to get him in. And then the hit would have to be for Maddison or Rashford, which I'll come on to in a sec. So I'll talk about that transfer as a whole at the end. I'm just not sure I want to take a hit. I didn't want to use a free transfer last week, but obviously Son got red carded. So it would be nice just to save because there is going to be rotation. Then let's see what happens for Gameweek 21. But Pope, again, there's just no way I can transfer him out. I've got other things to worry about. Aurier, I'm still fairly happy with. I just wish Spurs could keep some clean sheets. I think they've got the fixtures now coming up to do that. Norwich, Southampton, Watford, and then Norwich again in the next 5 fixtures. Now, 3 of them are away, so Norwich, Southampton and Watford in the next 4 are away. The only home game is Liverpool. But given the opposition, I'm kind of hopeful that he'll get 1 or 2 clean sheets there. And we know he's got attacking potential as well. Not as good as Trent, yes, fair enough. But he does get forward down that right much more than Vertonghen does on the left. Soyuncu, Leicester have not been good the last couple of games. They've really been found out by Man City and Liverpool. I don't think that's a bad thing if they continue to beat everyone else in the league but struggle against the 2 best teams in the Premier League by a long distance. I think that's okay, and West Ham away could be a good chance for a clean sheet for Soyuncu, so he's back in. And then currently I'm benching Lundstram because he's got Man City away. I'm just not going to play him in that fixture. Yes, he could get attacking returns, but fully expecting Man City to score. So Rico gets the nod ahead of Kelly. Now, one of the reasons for that is Kelly is playing Southampton away, and I own Danny Ings, who got a rest in the last game. So hoping he can do something against Kelly. Meaning Rico, bit of attacking potential against Brighton, could come through with the goods. Although I do know that Trossard and Morpay also got rested in the last game, so that's probably not good news for Bournemouth. But I think between Rico and Kelly, I'm going to play Rico this week. So looking at midfield, Maddison has got a couple of attacking returns in the previous games before City and Liverpool. So the 3 games before that, he got 3 attacking returns for Watford and Villa. Then he blanked against Norwich, and then obviously blanked against City and Liverpool. Wasn't expecting too much against City and Liverpool. If I could have got 1 attacking return there, I would have been happy. The key question is, do I now keep him now Leicester's fixtures a turn? And that was kind of the plan all along. But one of the ways to get Trent Alexander-Arnold in would be Maddison to Grealish, who obviously is doing really well. Now, because of price changes last night, Maddison dropped, Grealish went up, and so did Trent Alexander-Arnold. I have no money in the bank now to basically worry about that. So if there is another price change that affects my team, i.e. one of those changes again, Maddison goes down or the other 2 go up, I can't afford to make that transfer. Now, whether I get rid of Aurier or Lundstram is interesting. Lundstram has Man City away, Liverpool away, Arsenal away, and Man City at home in the next 5. They are 3 or 4 fixtures that I would probably bench him for. So could I bring him back later on? Now, I know what's going on in people's heads. You're going to take a hit to get rid of Lundstram of all people to get Trent back. That is chasing points, and that is my worry. I think I might just stop this week, save a free transfer, and then reassess next week. But that is one move I'm considering, but I just don't want to get rid of Maddison after 2 blanks or 3 blanks when 2 of them were against City and Liverpool. So I kind of want to hold on to him. Dele Alli, look, I think he's going to play. Spurs have got some suspensions now because of yellow cards. He did look knackered by the end of the game. So did Harry Kane. But I suppose for a lot of the players, they're just going to have to get over that and play again. They can't rotate full team. So I'm pretty sure he's going to play against Norwich. So he's currently my captain, although having watched the game, I'm not so sure about that. I'm pretty tempted to put it on Mane. The only issue is Salah got brought off around 60 minutes, so you'd almost certainly think he's going to start the next game. Maybe they'll use this opportunity to give Mane a rest, but Wolves is a tough fixture, so I'm hoping he started. But he did get 90 minutes in the last game, which does worry me a little bit, so I'm pretty tempted to put it back on Mane. I think he was very dangerous against Leicester. He should have scored more. There was a chance right at the start. Like I said, Salah should have played him in. There was another chance in the box where he hit it straight at the keeper. Another day he puts that overside. So for an eye test, he was very dangerous. And then Kevin De Bruyne, obviously, I don't know what happens tonight. That's one of the reasons I've not made my transfers yet, because if he gets injured, then he's an easy swap out. But Sheffield United at home, I think, yes, they've been very good defensively, but Man City are going to unlock them. I'm absolutely sure of it, and they're obviously going to play them twice in the next 5 fixtures. So Pep Guardiola's obviously had a lot of time now to see what Sheffield United are all about. And obviously Man City, second best team in the league right now, behind Liverpool, no matter what the table says, especially from an attacking point of view. So fully expecting them to unlock Sheffield United. So happy to keep De Bruyne for now. I think City's fixtures are pretty good. Obviously, he represents great value and he keeps going up in price as well. So fairly happy with the midfield. It's obviously just that question over whether I bring Trent straight back in. So up front, obviously still got Vardy. He stays, no questions about that. Rashford is the other way that I could afford to get rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold. And because of his price, potentially I could afford to get rid of one of Kelly or Rico instead of having to get rid of Lundstram or Aurier. I think just because of the fixtures, I'm really loath to get rid of Aurier. I know people have got a lot of love for Lundstram, and correctly so, but most of you haven't bought him for £5.1 million. Bearing in mind he plays 4 top 6 teams in the next 5 fixtures, with 3 of them away, like I said. So Lundstram's probably my number one to get rid of, I think, because of the price. Obviously, Rico and Kelly, maybe not as good options, but they've got better fixtures and they're a lot cheaper, so it gives me more money to play with elsewhere. But Rashford could go. Again, though, like thinking about rotation and stuff, he came off around the 60-minute mark. So did Martial. I mean, that's clear that they're going to probably start the next game. Pogba only had 45 minutes, so he should too. Yes, it'll be a tricky fixture against Burnley away, but the fact that he's on penalties and stuff still, Rashford, or should be, makes me want to keep him for this game. And again, reassess with 2 free transfers. And Danny Ings obviously only played about 15-20 minutes in the last game as well. Hassan Hutel actually came out and said that was because he can't play every game over Christmas, which is fair enough. A lot of players won't be able to. And they want him for the Crystal Palace game. It obviously made much more sense to rest him for the unwinnable Chelsea game, which they won, and then have him back for Crystal Palace. So currently, captain's on Ali, but to be honest, it could go to Ali, De Bruyne, Mane, Ings, or Rashford, or Vardy this week. Now, there was talk from Rodgers about Vardy, again, not being able to play all the games over Christmas. We were pretty confident that he'd play the City and Liverpool games, because obviously they would have been huge wins if they could have got him. Will he get a rest against West Ham? Potentially. I mean, Vardy is a bit of a 90-minute man week in, week out, but everyone's susceptible to getting rotated over Christmas. And I think his wife is due a baby soon as well, which could play into it. So captaincy is really difficult this week. I think you want obviously on someone that's going to score points, that's the number one, but also someone that's going to play from the off as well. So I'm actually a little bit tempted to put it on Danny Ings, because I know he'll play. Crystal Palace not an easy team to play, but Southampton doing well recently, looking much better at the moment, and because he's fully rested, I'm pretty tempted just to put it on Ings and hope for the best. But in terms of that transfer, so just to speak about it again, that Trent transfer, it really has to be Maddison to someone like Grealish and then Lundstram out. I'm not going to get rid of Aurier ahead of Lundstram given the fixtures, no matter what anyone thinks about that. Or I can get rid of Rashford to someone like Wilson would be a massive punt. I think Deulofeu as well. Watford play Aston Villa twice in the next 5. They've got quite nice fixtures. Obviously, they're on the bit of an up as well since Pearson has come in. But I'm just not sure about taking a hit this week. It's not chasing points, I don't think, with Trent, because I fully expect him to get points now over the rest of the season, like I think we've expected for most of the season. Obviously, 24-point haul again is very, very unlikely, so I'm not too worried about that. I just think a 4-point hit when there's going to be loads of rotation anyway, and who knows what will happen going into the next fixture. There could be muscle injuries and stuff. Playing in the cold and obviously playing so many games in a short period. I think the safest option is just to wait and reassess. I've made a lot of hits recently. I don't think I've made rash transfers, but I have taken a lot of hits that haven't paid off. There was the one back when I got Vardy in, which was good, but since then it's not been great. So I think it's time to reassess. I am happy, I think, to lose Lundstram for this set of fixtures and then maybe look at bringing him back. Obviously, I've got the advantage that I didn't get him for 4 million, I got him for 5.1, so selling him and getting him back is not too much of an issue, and by that point maybe it'll be time to get rid of Aurier anyway. So I think I'm going to hold. Captaincy, like I said, it's kind of all over the place. I want to put it on Mane, I'm just not sure about minutes, so Danny Ings could be the one. Obviously he's in great form anyway, and this is one of his last good fixtures for a little while as well, so maybe he can go out on a high. But that's how the team is looking for this week. Lundstram on the bench, Man City away, definitely going to score, so hopefully he'll get no points. The rest of the squad, I'm okay with it. It's just obviously it's hard to look at it without Trent, given what he did last week. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. I think I'm actually fairly well set for Gameweek 20. But I've said that a few times recently. Need a big week. I need a big week. And I need to get up the ranks because it's taken too long now. And obviously, we've got that rest of the half of the season to go, and there's chips and stuff to play. So I'm confident I'll climb up the ranks. But at this point, the points are starting to spread out a little bit more. Top 10k is getting much further away. And at this point, I'm probably just hoping for top 100, top 50k. But fingers crossed, Gameweek 20, Gameweek 21 is a good week going into the break for the FA Cup. And then finally, at some point, hopefully, I can kick on this season. So that is it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Apologies for the voice. I'm not hungover. I've got a bit of a cold after everything that happened last week. So hopefully it's not too bad to listen to. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a like. Much appreciated as always. Subscribe if you're new around here. Loads of content coming for the rest of this season and over the kind of New Year break and stuff like that as well. And give me a comment below. Let me know what you think about my transfers. Is Trent too much chasing points? Shall I just wait for 2 free transfers next week? Maybe do a little bit of a mini wildcard. What do you think about my team? Obviously, if you've got any questions and stuff, put them below. And if you haven't tried out OneFootball, click the link in the description below, or just search OneFootball on Android iOS stores. Give it a try over Christmas, the rest of the kind of New Year period. Lots of games come in, lots of live scores coming in as well, and it's completely free, so you might as well. Otherwise, I will catch you next time. Cheers all.